basically create a structure, right? So for example, you gave an example of name, number and address. These are three different types of data that you want to store, and you want to store them in such a way that they are related to each other, right? So name, number and address belongs to just one guy. So that is a one record, but it's three different data types.
Definitely. So as I explained you, just like a form template we have one original form, then by that form we are creating 100 different forms by using Xerox option, right? So in that particular form, we have couple of things already filled, just like Wipro symbol. I'm just giving a Wipro example. So Wipro is symbol, Wipro CEO signature, couple of details are already filled. That whom this guy will concern, something like that. So couple of things you need to fill: name, an address, and your signature, right? So these three things you need to fill. So if you have a single form, then only a single person can fill that particular form, right? And what about 100 and whatever is the requirement to fill, right? So we just need to do Xerox of that particular portion. That means if we are going to RAM, right? So the same situation when we are going to RAM, right? So we need to book spaces there, right? So because of our requirement. So for one requirement, let's say for one guy we are booking some space for storing his name, address, something like that. Then for another guy we are storing some other space, right? Just like notes we are using in RAM, right? This is nothing but a structure concept. So when we are defining a structure, structure is nothing but a template, right?
Okay.
Structure is nothing but a template. There is nothing but a single template. It doesn't contain any memory. Till we are declaring a structure variable.
Till we are declaring variable. Okay.
Yeah, structure variable. Right? I will show you what does that mean. So I'm taking one example here. Main function. Right. So I'm just using one structure. See, structure can be global or it can be local. That means I can declare within a main function or outside a main function. Depends on my requirement. Right? Local and global. Local means I will use within main function. Global means I can use outside main function also. That means within main function I'm calling a function. Inside that I'm using a structure. At that particular time we are using global. Right? Yeah. So here I'm just declaring it locally. So I'm just using struct. Right? Struct book. And again same thing. Then I'm using this. So go to the template now. Now I can use
struct is a syntax for creating a structure, right?
Yes, correct. So book is a structure.
Book is a name. Book is a name.
Yeah, book is the name of a structure, or you can say book is the name of a structure template.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Don't use template directly because template is just for our reference that we can understand easily. Right?
Yeah.
Just simply say the structure. Right?
Okay.
The character, name. Right? So name can be one character, name can be more than one character. Right? Just like Chetan. Right? So I can use around 5 to 6, or I can say, let's say name Chetan 10, right? Because I need to store 10 characters in that particular array.
Yeah.
Right? Or simply I can write character name. So I can store only a single character. Just like say I have books, maths, physics, chemistry and biology. Then why should I write full name? I can simply classify M, B, C and D. Right? By first letter. Simply I can add this one or I can add full name. Depends on my requirement. Right? So here I am taking just one letter. Right? The character name by using float price. Then we can use here is
what is the float? It's a data type I remember, but I just don't remember the. Okay.
Float, you remember decimal data type? It's a decimal. You remember? So we
have double. Yeah.
Remember now?
Yeah, no,
so float is nothing. It's a decimal, not a float is nothing but approx value. When we are going to double, it's an exact value. Float and double comes in picture when we are using a decimal, just like 23.25, 23.75 or 23.00. Right? That's the thing. When we are using double, right? This thing. So we have these three things. Now within structure template we have three fields, three things to fill: name, then price, then pages. Right? So name can take one character, float can take the decimal value of price, and integer pages. What are the number of pages we have in that particular book? Right? So these three information we need from that particular guy. Right? So now what we can do is, now we can declare the structure variables. Struct book. Right? Then we can declare v1, v2, v3. Right? So now how many variables we have structure? 3 variables, 1, 2, 3. That means we have 3 people. Right? So 3 different memories will be allocated in the RAM.
No, one second. Right? No, one second. I did not follow it. So initially when you were creating struct and you put struct book, you are basically creating a structure with 3 different data types that you can store in the structure,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Character, float, and int.
Correct. So
Right?
creating a
Structure.
template here.
Creating a template here. Okay, so you created a template.
The structure is nothing but a template here, right?
So now when
Now
you
after
say struct,
creating a template, so this is our actually original form, right? Or
yeah.
I can say it's our original form, right? So generally we never use original form, right? And we cannot ask somebody to fill it, right? Because we need it as a reference in future also, correct?
Right.
So here it will not take any memory. It will not take any memory.
Okay.
Right? It will not take memory. So at this particular time, when we are declaring structure variables,
Now, what do you mean by structure variables? That's not much.
see, when we are defining structure, book, character name, float, price, integer, pages, right?
Right.
So this is nothing but manual data type. See, what does exactly mean by data type when we are defining any integer variable, a float variable, or a double variable? Tell me. If I'm declaring a simple variable with integer, let's say I'm using integer a comma b,
Yeah.
right? So what does it mean when we're declaring a variable with integer?
It just mean that you are declaring some variable which can store a type of value, right? And the type of value is your integer or character or float.
Correct. So what it's doing here when we are writing structure, so we are just collecting 3 different data types and we are collecting into one and we are putting inside a structure. That means it's also a new structure type which is created with the help of old structure data types, that is existing data types, correct?
Right. I mean, yeah, you're right. But and you're also declaring variables here, right? Name is a variable, price is a variable, and pages is a variable.
Correct. Yes.
So you've already declared those variables.
Yes, correct. So it's just like a group of collection of variables we are storing within a template. So it's nothing but a manual data type.
Yeah. So it's a collection of different variables. Yeah.
Yes, right. So it will store something that means a manual data type. Correct?
Yeah.
Right? So we have just declared the manual data type, just like integer, float, double, right?
Right.
So it's just like integer, float, comma, double, etc. Right?
Yeah.
So just like integer, float, character, double, whatever we are using, it's just like a structure, or we have just like a manual data type defined, because it's not allocating any memory. It's just like simply integer, float, character. That means it will indicate how the values will get stored, right? So here simply it will get the value, how the value gets stored. This is name, price, and pages. Correct?
Yeah.
Right. So here when we are using struct books is nothing but just like integer. So just like integer, we are declaring integer b1, b2, b3. Simply we are using struct book, then we are declaring b1, b2, and
so b1, b2, and b3 are 10
variables.
So 3, but that's what I'm confused, right? Variable you defined within struct, and now you are defining b1, b2. So does that mean that you are creating 3 templates? Is that what it means?
No. Template is nothing but this portion, struct book. See, what I'm telling you is, one second. I can write integer b1, comma b2, comma b3. I can write this thing. This is nothing but 3 variables which have data type integer. Correct?
Right.
Okay. So similarly, what I am telling you is, I defined this particular manual data type which contains existing 3 data types. There is a combination of 3 data types: character, float, and integer. It's just like nothing but simply we are declaring an integer variable, or any double variable, or any float, right? It's just like a data type we have defined. So instead of integer, can I write struct book? It's also data type now because we have declared it. We have defined it.
Struct book is a data type, you are saying?
Yes, correct. This is nothing but a data type that we have defined, just like integer, float, double, whatever we have.
That data type is basically able to store 3 variables, 3 types of data. Struct book is a collection of data types.
Correct.
And you are b1, b2, b3 is basically a variable.
Variables of data type struct book.
Okay.
Correct?
Okay.
Yeah, this is the main point. So I will add this point so you will not get confused. Here, struct books is data type of b1, comma b2, comma b3. Like we declare any integer, or float or any other existing data type. Now it's okay.
Yeah.
You got my point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, one thing we can declare just like this, like I'm just declaring structure book v1, b1, b2, b3, fine. Or I can write this thing also, struct, fine, book, then I can simply write b, b1, and then I can simply write 3, right? So it's again meaning the same thing. That means we have declared
Yeah.
an array,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
with index 3. That means we have 3 elements in that. Either we can write b1, b2, b3 as a simple 3 variables, or either we can write it as an array. So that is more defined, right? More correct.
Right.
Okay? Yeah, that's the thing. So, fine. I'm just commenting this one.
Which one? Oh, okay. Okay.
This portion,
Int
right?
b1,
We
b2,
are just
b3.
considering this portion, right? Yeah. So how we are getting an input, right? So just for input, within main function, what we can write is this is where declare, right? So I can simply write printf, enter names, comma prices there, right? Prices, comma prices, and number of pages, right? Number of pages for all the 3 books, right?
Name, prices, and number of pages. Okay, for all the 3 books. Okay.
Correct. So simply I'm just using 3 things because I know, right? We have to just enter 3 variables, right? So simply one by one I'm entering. I'm not using here loop any, right? I'm not using any loop.
Right.
So manually I'm just using all these things.
Scanner.
Scanf, just to make it very simple, right?
Character
Scanf, I'm
percentage.
using percentage C now because we are using a single character. Then
Yeah.
percentage R, correct? Then percentage D for integer,
Integer. Right.
correct? Right, we can
Ampersand.
write and
Ampersand.
name,
Yeah.
right? And name and price, comma, and percent pages,
Yeah. Yeah.
correct? So we are
Yeah.
taking the inputs. Similarly, so see, when we are declaring a simple variable, name, price, and pages, we can declare by this thing, right? But here, what is the structure variable? Structure variable is nothing but b1, b2, and b3.
Right.
So can we write it directly just like name, price, and pages? No, right? Because these are not direct variables that we are using. We have to use these 3 variables, b1, b2, and b3, because it's inside a data type now. Correct?
No, but B1, B2, and B3, each one of those variables is a collection of
Yes,
the
correct,
underlying 3
correct, correct,
variables.
correct, correct. So first one we can write as b1 dot name, right? Second one we can write as b1 dot price. Third one we can write as b1 dot pages. Now it sounds good to you?
Yeah, but when you the printf saying that enter the information for all the 3 books, right? So would you have to
Yes,
repeat
yes,
the
yes.
scanf 3
Yes,
times?
yes, correct, correct. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not using a loop. I will repeat it again and again, right? Just to make it simplify, right?
Okay.
Just taking a very simple example, right? Then again scanner, then again scanner. So what we can do is instead of V1, we can write here a V2, V2, V2.
Your page takes a lot of time for me to see because right now I'm not seeing anything. Hopefully I will see eventually. Yeah, okay. So now I
Okay,
see it.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's taking a lot of time for ticket recognition. B3. B3. B3.
Yeah, correct, correct. V3,
Yeah.
then V3. Now it's fine.
Yeah.
So initially we are taking input for V1, then V2, then V3. Correct? Yeah. So similarly we can printf, we can use printf 3 times, right? Just to
Yeah.
print all these values. Right? So just choose printf. I'm not writing a syntax, just writing it here, right? Printf to print all these values. Right? So now you understood the concept of
Print
structure?
all 3 values. Yeah,
all
maybe,
these
yeah,
values,
okay.
because I'm just taking scanf and you can do it some printf, right? This is a positive statement,
Yeah,
fine.
okay. So here
So
the
you
person
understand
will
the
enter,
concept?
the person will enter all the three together, and scanf will take all of these three together. Okay. So the first one
Yes,
that
right.
enters will go to
So
B1,
first we are
second one.
entering B1 values, second value is the B2
Yeah.
values, and third one is B3. So B1, B2, B3 nothing but separate entities, right?
Yeah.
That we are storing in RAM, correct? So now you understood the concept of structure.
Mm-hmm.
Are you comfortable with this? Then we can go to next
Yeah.
example. Any confusion you have, you can ask me. So this
Just
is
trying
very
to think.
important to understand.
Yeah, it's okay. I think.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just checking next example below. Next example, right? So again, within main function, right? So I'm using struct book. Now here, let me take array, right, for name. Because initially we took a character name, right? So we can store only a single character. Right? So here I'm taking character name. Then I'm using 10 characters to enter the name, right? For individual, correct? Now we have float, price. Then we have, I think it's integer, pages, right? So we have three things here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I need to initialize structure variables, right? Just like integer a, we are using a is equals to 10, right?
Integer A
Comma
is equal
b
to
is
10.
equals
Okay.
b is equals to 20. So what we are doing here? We are initializing.
You're initializing some variables. That's all what you're doing,
Yes,
right?
initializing. Yes, initializing variables, right? So these are nothing but existing data types, right? Integer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how we can initialize the structure variables? That's the main question.
Struct
So it's
book
again very easy.
space A something, right?
Struct bus, right? B1,
B1, yeah.
right,
B2,
is
B3.
equals to,
Okay, is equal to the and you'll now put name like with comma or something.
no, here we will put like this. See, first one is basic name, right?
Yeah, so maths or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is about basic, comma.
Oh, it
Then
has
I
to be in
can
double
write any
quotes.
value.
Okay.
Yes. See, whenever we are writing any string, then definitely it should be in double quotes. When we are writing a character, it should be in
Right.
single quotes.
Okay.
Correct? So when we are writing a string, because it's nothing but a string now, character array. So we are writing it as double quotes. Right?
Okay.
Basic, then 100.00. I'm using it as a float.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then simply I'm putting pages as 1000.
Okay.
Correct? So this is the way to initialize. Similarly, we can initialize another variable, struct book b2 is
Yeah.
equals to, right, you can write chemistry, right, then we can write 120.323, then 200 pages, correct. So similarly we can define other variables also, correct. So this is nothing but initialize structure variables. Any confusion you have in this one? I think it's
No.
straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So see, one more thing I want to tell you here is main function. See, initially we have, I told you, right? So how to declare a structure variable? Struct, then book, then you are writing variable name b1, comma b2, comma b3, and so on, right?
Mm-hmm.
b3, comma b4, and so on. So these are nothing but structure variable declaration, right?
Right.
Correct. So either I can write it here, or I can simply write after this one, b1, comma b2, comma b3, comma b4.
Okay, so this is
Both
also
means the same
defining.
thing.
Okay, okay,
Yes, yes.
okay.
This is a both thing. Either you can write structure variable separately, or you can write within a command stem. Fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Declaration option. Another declaration. Anyone you can opt, right, when you are coding. It's not compulsory that you are not opting anyone. Fine.
Meaning? Oh, okay. Anyone
Yeah,
any
anyone we can
declaration
use.
option. Yeah, yeah.
Declaration we can use anything. Okay? This is the main thing. So now you are clear.
Yeah.
Any confusion you have, you can ask me. Just
Mm,
check throughout.
mhm.
Just check throughout. Any confusion you have from the starting to end, you can ask me. Because once you understand this thing, right, basics are pretty much clear.
The problem is, Chetan, when you are explaining, right, everything seems to be very easy. So when you give assignments, I get stuck.
The
Okay.
assignments, they are not typical, right? Just understand the concept. Once you understand, I think it will take only 3 to 4 lines to solve that one.
3, 2.
Most of 3 to 4 lines, I guess.
Okay.
Is the
Okay. Yeah.
main part of the coding.
This seems okay. So far, whatever you have explained seems okay.
Okay, okay, understood. So now, so we have wrote this thing, right? That's correct. Now, if we want to print or check address of structure variables.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, if I want to print the address of a structure variable, that means we are located in memory B1, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
B2 and B3,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
What is the address they were storing? You remember M% when we are printing?
Ampersand.
If you are defining, yes, M% B1 dot something, M% B1 dot something. This is nothing but giving you an address. Similarly, what we are using in scanf, remember? Here, this is syntax. This is nothing but our addresses, correct? And B1 dot
Correct.
price and B1
Yeah.
dot price, right?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
nothing but address. So how we are printing address? So for printing address, we are defining another identifier that is nothing but percentage U. Percentage U nothing, it represents only address.
Okay. So
Right?
printf percentage u comma ampersand b1 dot name something, right?
Correct, correct, correct. Syntax
Percentage u
using slash n and
percentage
U.
u, and then
Right? So
outside of
percentage U, I can simply write address of variable. Right? Address of name, I can simply write address of name.
name.
What is the address of name, comma, and B1 dot name.
Name.
Correct? There is nothing but base address. Correct?
So but why did you say address of name? Name colon means what? Because address is coming before, right? Percentage is before. So address of name colon, then after that you should write percentage u, right? This percentage u should
Fine.
come after
It's in
colon.
formatting, right? I can write here.
No, just because
Okay,
you had
okay.
colon, that's why I was getting confused. Maybe I thought you were going to write another variable there. It's okay.
No, it's not the issue, right? Whenever we are writing percentage U, it will replace with address. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
The
okay.
column will not affect anything, just like a formatting, right? Whenever you have percentage U or percentage identifier, it will replace with the help of this particular
So
variable value.
percentage u is basically the address, right?
Yes, correct.
So
That
then
means nothing
why
but
do you have
address.
colon? Why do you have colon there? What is the colon for? Semicolon, I mean,
How it will print on screen? It will print on screen as address of name, whatever, let's say 2002,
hmm.
then, oh, sorry. Control X.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, right? This is what was confusing me. Okay, now this is fine. This is fine.
Fine?
Yeah, now I know. Okay.
Okay, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Now I got my point. So similarly, we can write for, we have pages and prices, correct?
Yeah. Percentage u is for address. Okay.
Okay. Similarly, I can write name. Instead of name, I can write
Hmm.
what's the price, right? Right. Now the one is pages. No. Now you're clear?
Yeah.
All will print nothing but address.
Yeah. Yeah. Clear.
Any confusion you have, you can ask me.
It seems okay.
Just because straightforward, right? So now, initially we declared 3 variables, right? Then we are simply using scanf manually for entering values for each, correct? In the initial example,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what I can do is I can replace with the help of loop now, right? Using array then loop, because whenever we are using array, then definitely it should use loop, right? Because we don't have any other option to apart from loop.
Got it. One
Correct?
question. One question. Chetan, the
Yes, it is.
pointers is something that we will do again on C++, right? Pointers and arrays. We'll repeat it again in C++, right?
Pointer again we will cover in structure. I will give you another example in structure now.
Okay.
Structure
Okay.
pointers.
And even I'm just trying to say that arrays, pointers, and structures will cover again, and loops will cover again in C++, right? We will do
See
more
whatever
examples.
yeah, everything. So see structure examples you are checking, right? So everywhere we are using that particular array, right?
Yeah.
Just now we use name for array, right? So similarly we have classes. So classes structure don't have that much difference, right? So classes is nothing but advanced form of structure. So when we are using classes, definitely we use function, arrays, loop, and everything, pointers, etc. Everything. Correct?
Okay. Okay.
So using array and loop. Correct? So again I'm declaring main function, taking the same example here, books, struct books. Correct?
What are you trying to do now? What example are you trying to create?
See, I'm using array. Remember I told you, right? Structure variables and I'm declaring variables b1, b2, b3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No.
b1, b2, b3 I can replace with the help of the array.
Yeah.
Array
I'm just
index
trying.
3.
Okay. Okay.
Correct? So I'm just
Yeah.
replacing the variable structure variables into structure arrays. Correct?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just giving an example for that. So similarly we are writing character, let's say character name, just to simplify our process. Then what was that? Float, price, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we have integer, pages. These are the 3 ones, right? Okay. Now what we can do is we can define struct book. Then I will take as an array. Right? So I'm just using 10. Correct. So this is nothing but array of structure.
So 10 templates basically, 10 variables of struct book.
Yes. Yes, with index 10. That means 10 variables of, right, struct books data type. Correct?
Yeah.
These are nothing but more defined, right? So I'm just using integer I for loop. Then I'm using for I is equals to 0. Correct? I is equals to 0. I is less than equals to 99. Then I plus plus.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, not 99. I'm using it.
Yeah, I thought you said, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
10, right? Oh, less than equal to you said,
Yes.
okay. Okay, fine.
Yes. Both are same thing, right? Either I can let I is less than 10 or I is less than equal
Yeah,
to
no, I
9.
understood,
So it will
yeah.
execute for 10.
10 times.
So printf, what I can write, enter
Yeah.
name, price, and what is that? Pages, right?
You just,
Then I can use this variable. Correct? Then simply I can write /n earlier. Okay. Scanf. Is that now percentage C, percentage F, percentage D, comma, and now what should be that index? B,
I. Oh, okay,
dot
once again, bi dot,
name,
yeah, bi dot price and bi dot pages.
and B I dot, what is that? Pages, right?
Yeah.
Now you understood this point?
Okay. Yeah.
Any confusion you have, you can ask. Just check these things, right? Any confusion you have, anything you want to ask, or any question in your mind, or something R&D you have.
No, this seems okay. One second. Enter
Okay.
name, price, and pages. Okay, so you every single time you're looping, you're basically running a loop, right? Every single time you enter, you ask him for again to enter one. Yeah.
Correct.
So tell me something. If let's say this is a loop, right? This is a 9 loop. What if somebody wants to
Yeah.
enter only 3 pages and wants to now break and say that I don't have any more? Is there a way? Is there some line that we can write here that allows the person to takes an input from the person and stops the program?
Yeah, we can write it, right? We can put some condition, right? I'm using some if condition. Let's say name is something you can define, or pages, let's say you can define. If pages, if pi dot pages exactly equals to 0, then you can break the loop.
But how would no? But in that case also you are asking, you are depending on the user to write 0, right?
Yes,
Pass 0,
correct.
right? I'm saying
So
without.
on which condition you want to terminate? On which
So in other
condition you want
words,
to terminate?
so in other words, I'm a user, right? I've written this program, right?
Correct.
I only want to input for 3 templates. I want to actually input data for only 3 books, and I don't have a 4th
Okay.
book. So now I want to
Okay.
basically terminate. There has to be a button that I can press to terminate the program, right? That I can let
Okay.
user to decide to terminate the program.
Okay. So at what particular time you wanted to terminate the program? You are saying?
And that time is variable. So in other words, I should write
Okay.
enter
Fine.
name, price, and pages.
Yeah. One second. So here I am declaring another variable integer n. Right. Before this thing, printf, please enter number of records you want to enter. Correct?
Okay. And then now that n, you will put I is equal to n, and then I is equal to 0, I is less than equal to n, and then I plus plus.
Correct.
Okay.
Are you
Then
understood?
you will do it. Yeah.
Any other doubt you have? You can ask me.
No.
No? Shall we go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. So now another example of copy structure variables.
Copy
Right?
structure
That
variable. Okay.
means let's say I have variable struct b1 comma b2. Right? Now what I want to do, I want to write b1 is equals to b2. So will it be okay? All the values will get copied directly. Now I'm writing b1 is equals to b2. So whatever value we have defined in b2 will be copied directly to b1.
B1.
No.
Yeah.
No, it will not.
No.
No, it will not directly copy. See, b1 and b2, right, is nothing but representing a variable. That is okay, right? But how can we determine exactly, right? That
But
all
you
the values are
just
passed accurately. That means
but you just said, right,
hello.
that B2 is equal to B1, right?
I said b1 is equals to b2. That means all the values of b2 should be passed in b1 identically, right? So just like similarly we have integer a is equals to 10 and b is equals to 20. I'm just declaring these two variables.
Yeah, and then you
And I'm
say
saying a is equals to
B.
b. That means now a will contain also 10.
No, A will
And
also
b will
contain
also
20.
contain now 10.
No, that means that
Yeah,
A
correct.
will also contain 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, when you say B1 is equal to
Correct?
B2, here when you say B1 is equal to B2 in your previous line, yeah, then whatever you pass in B2 is automatically going to go into B1, right?
Yes, correct. So it see, ideally it should happen, right? that whatever values we have in B2 should pass to B1, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Just like similarly we have. But how the compiler will know what is B1 and B2, how many data types we have? Because these are nothing but manually declared data types.
No,
Correct?
but yeah, oh, okay. I manual declared data type. So
Yes.
whatever we create, whatever structures we create, they are always considered as manual. Now I understand when you said manual declared data types. What? Okay.
Correct. Now I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
So compiler don't understand, right, what are manual data structure data types. Even we have defined structure B1 and B2, he can understand the structure we have defined. But when I am using equals to operator between B1 and B2, there is nothing but structure variables. So compiler don't have any definition for that particular portion.
Okay.
Right?
So
At this
do we have
point,
to do? So do we have to do v1 dot name is equal to v2 dot name?
Yes, correct. So we have to define what compiler needs to be done. At this point, compiler don't understand equals to operator
Okay.
between
Structures.
structure variables.
Yeah. Okay.
Structure variables.
Yeah.
So we need to define. Right? So we need to define it. Fine?
Mm-hmm.
So we just commenting this portion. U is equal to 2. This one is not understood. Right? So what we can add instead of this, I just comment this portion, right? So you don't get confused. Are you clear about that to this point?
Yeah.
Right? So see, whenever we are using name, so name is nothing but a string, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we have particular function string cpy, cpy. I told you, right, when we are using strings, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Comma b2 dot name. So here string copy b1 dot name to b2 dot name. So b1 dot name is equals to b2 dot name. It exactly means, correct?
1 second. I'm just trying to
Copy the
understand.
contents of b2 dot name to b1 dot name.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because the strcpy was the predefined function in C. Yeah, I remember.
Yes,
We did this
correct.
before. Yeah.
String copy.
Yeah.
So whatever
Same as-
content is
yeah,
contained in b2 dot name, it will convert to b1 dot name.
Name. Okay.
And
We can only
simply we
pass
can
2
write
here,
for-
right? We can only pass 2 here, right? In one string copy, we can only pass 2 variables.
Yeah.
There's no way to do multiple. Like, can't we separate this by semicolon and do another one?
We can write, but we have multiple complex conditions in that. So I don't recommend that particular one thing. So you can do it manually step by step. String copy you can write 2 or 3 times. Right?
Okay.
So b1 dot price is equals to b2 dot price. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So b1 dot pages is equals to b2 dot pages. Now compiler can understand this thing, right?
So why did you write string copy in first place? Because you did not want to use equal to sign. Okay.
Yes.
This is
correct.
different ways of writing it.
I will prefer strings, right? Normally we prefer in strings, so it will not confuse there will not be confusion, right? Because when we are writing b1 dot name, so name is nothing but an array, or we can simply write as a character. Correct?
Okay.
It's nothing but array. We are taking a base address. So just to avoid the confusion for compiler in strings, we are directly using a string copy.
Okay.
Correct? Because when we are using character array, right? So there is a null operator. You remember? In last we are adding null operator.
Yep. Yes, remember. Okay.
Remember, to avoid the confusion to compiler, we are simply using a string copy. So it will take care automatically, right? We don't have to bother about null pointer or something like that.
Yeah.
Fine?
Yeah.
So here what we are defining, this is nothing but definition. Definition of copying. Correct? So individual elements we need to copy when we are defining a equal to operator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or when we want to just copy from b1 to b2 or any variable. So individual operators we need to define. We can't write simply b1 is equals to b2. So compiler will not able to understand. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
You understand my point?
Right. Yeah. Follow. I follow.
Yeah. So when we are going to C++, right? So this concept is knowing nothing but as operator overloading.
What was that?
Operator.
Say that again.
Operator overloading.
Copying of string is operator overloading, you're saying.
No. What I am trying to say is, see, we are used b1 is equals to b2.
Yeah.
Correct? But compiler don't understand what is b1 is equals to b2. So instead of that, we write these 3 steps. String copy, b1 dot, then we are copying price, then we are copying pages.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we are going to C++, right? So just like structure variables here, we have nothing but objects, right? Objects of classes, or simply we can say for structure variables of a structure. So these are nothing but same concept,
Okay.
right? So at
Okay.
that particular time, whenever we are writing b1 is equals to b2, let's say these two are objects, b1 and b2. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
we are writing this thing, right? So again we need to have to define this particular thing. What does b1 is equals to b2 mean? So to tell the compiler that what needs to be done. So this is nothing
Okay.
but definition at that particular time.
Okay. Got
You
it.
understand my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So every time we need to define compiler how it will behave, right? Whenever we are declaring any operator. So either we are using equal to operator, plus operator, minus operator. You understand my point? So initially we have checked the example of b1 is equals to b2. Now b1 plus b2, comma b1 minus b2, comma b1. You understood?
No, this I don't
So how
understand.
b1
B1.
plus b2? So how b1 plus b2 will be defined? So compiler will be able to directly add the both the structure variables? No. Correct?
No,
Just
Chicken,
like
I'm not
b1 is equal
following.
to,
I'm not following. Now
so
I'm getting confused.
one second. So just now we have seen b1 is equals to b2. So that is not recognized by compiler. So instead of this thing, we are using these three statements that we are
Yeah,
copying
B1
things
dot
to the variable.
name, B1 dot name, B2 dot name. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So these three steps we perform manually just to assign the values, right? Just to
Right.
copy the values, correct?
Right.
So
Right.
similarly, when we are defining b1 plus b2,
Yeah.
initially we were doing b1 is equals to b2. That means we are doing the copy the value from b2 to b1. Now what we
Right.
need to do, we need to define b1 plus b2, and I'm putting inside a variable b3. So
Okay.
compiler will understand b3 is equals to b1 plus b2. Do you think compiler will understand?
No, you'll have to again do the same thing, right?
Yes, correct.
But I'm
So
just trying to
again we need to
understand how
write
would
this
you.
manually.
But I'm just trying to understand how would you add names? How would you add strings?
If you remember, we have string concatenation strcat.
Oh, okay. 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 So you are just going to create
Just
a.
like hello,
Okay.
okay. Just like in first one we have hello and second one we have world. So when we are combining these two, it will indicate as hello world. So nothing
Okay.
but we are adding two strings.
Yeah.
Correct? So
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
strcpy, you can use strcat function in that particular point. Right? Price is the same b1 dot price plus b2 dot price. That will we are putting inside of b3 dot price.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
b1 dot pages plus b2 dot pages, you are putting inside b3 dot pages.
Got it. Okay.
Got my point?
Yeah.
Any confusion you have, you can ask me. Is it
Mm,
okay?
yeah. Yeah.
Correct. So whenever we are printing a string with the help of printf operator, we are using always percentage %s. Correct?
Yeah.
Remember, right? Yeah. Okay. So any confusion you have, just check it thoroughly. If you have any confusion, just ask me. Any confusion you have?
Uh, no, that's fine. I think you can just remove B3 is equal to B1 plus B2 from this notepad because otherwise it will just confuse me. Or else just write B3 dot whatever, because then I'll confuse it with something else later on.
Okay. I will just say similarly, we can define these operators. Now should be okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So now we have topic pointers. Another example using pointers. Fine. So again I'm using main.
So we are doing structures only, but first we did plain structures, then we did structures with the array, then we did a loop within structures, and now we are doing pointers in a structure.
Yes, correct. Main function. So struct book. Again here I'm using character name. Let's say here I'm taking 25. It's a random one, right? Character author. So this is nothing but author name. So here I'm taking 25. That is nothing but full name, right? integer and call, I can say, okay, call number I will take, right? So name, author and phone number.
One second.
Right?
One second. In the previous example, right, when we were concatenating, what will happen if the individual strings were both 8 characters, but the limit was 10 characters total? So what happens when you concatenate?
It will truncate.
Truncate to have that first 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
Got
see,
it.
whenever using b3 equals to b1 plus b2, then b3 dot name should be around 20 characters, 10 plus 10, b1 dot name plus b2 dot name, correct? So that means b3 dot name should have enough space to store b1 and b2 both contents.
But b3 dot name will have the same characters as the b2 dot name, right? Because it's a part of the same structure.
So
Right.
what you can do is, while you are defining a structure, instead of using 10, you can define 20 directly.
Yeah, no, but if you
Right.
define 20, then even b1 and b2 can also have 20 each, right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but there's a limitation I told you, right? That's the main thing. That's the limitation we have.
Okay.
Or what you can do is, you can define another structure variable, right?
And then
Another structure variable you can
store
define. Yes,
into
correct.
C1 is equal to b1 plus b2.
Yes, correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This is another option you have.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So here I'm writing struct, let's say struct book b1, right, equals to, and I'm using the book particular name. Let's say I'm writing chemistry part 2. Fine.
Where are you writing?
This is our book name. I'm just initializing it.
No, but I don't see anything. That's why I'm asking you.
Oh, are you able to see?
No, nothing. Okay, now I'm able to
Let
see.
me
Yeah,
know once
yeah,
it's
yeah. I'm able to see. I'm able to see now.
Okay.
Struct book B1 is equal to
Author I'm
chemistry
writing
part 2.
Karan.
Oh, chemistry is the weak. I used to fail in chemistry. You are keeping me author of chemistry. Okay.
So even b1 dot call number.
B1 dot. Was that B1 dot call number? Int call number.
Sorry, not b1 dot call number. Sorry. I can write 1 2 1.
See, if Karan Sikka will write this book, it will definitely go wrong. Okay. 1 2 1 3. Okay. Int call number. Okay.
Fine. So I'm just initializing this particular structure variable. Fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So similarly, struct book using star ptr.
Pointer. Okay.
Just like we are declaring integer a variable, right? A is equals to 10. Then we are using integer star ptr, correct? Then I'm assigning ptr is equals to end of a. So you know this thing, right? This is
Yeah.
when you're defining any variable. So similarly, integer I'm replacing with struct books, correct? And this is initializing of b1 I'm replacing with struct book. So I'm initializing this particular variable, structure variable, and I'm using a pointer. Correct? So similarly, I can write here ptr is equals to end of
percent of B1.
Correct?
Yeah.
So print that. What we can write is percentage s, because we are defining a string, right? Percentage then percentage d for integer.
And star PTR, right? Comma star PTR.
Yes. No, not ptr. Remember ptr. This one name, comma ptr. This one.
So it's not dot. So it's not dot. So it's not dot. It's basically
Yes.
PTR arrow. Okay.
Yes, correct. Right. So I got my point, because it's a structure variable, right? So we cannot actually define star ptr or something like that, right? It will just
No,
point
but-
to that particular.
Yeah, but still PTR should not. We should not do. We should do star PTR arrow name. Star PTR arrow author.
Yes. So see, whenever you're using arrow, right? Arrow will replace this term, star,
Okay.
right? Arrow means nothing but star we are printing. Arrow means value of that particular value stored at that particular address. And it's stored at that particular.
So is it an alternative, or in structure we always have to
No,
do this
whenever
one?
we are using structure, we need to use this one,
Okay.
right? because directly we can access these things, right? So PTR then it access the address of name and you get the print the values of name there. Similarly author and similarly for call number.
Yeah.
Are you clear about this?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling that we have done so much today. Normally we do less, but today I think okay, fine. Just
Last
continue,
example we have, structure we have
yeah.
completed.
Yeah, okay.
Just last simple example, call by reference. If similarly whatever we have done, you remember
Before,
integer value
yeah.
we are passing.
Yeah, yeah,
So we
yeah.
need to pass that struct variable.
Yeah.
Right? You want me to do that? Or you will do
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
your
No, no,
own?
no, no,
Very
no, no.
simple.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I still have some
Okay,
time left.
okay.
I'd rather do it now.
Fine. So we have struct again
So
struct book.
all this was called by value,
So I
right?
think it's the same structure, right? Yeah. Yes, correct. Right. So I'm just simply writing because structure we have already declared here, right? Upper section.
Yeah.
This is the same structure I'm using, right? Structure book.
So let's just copy. Let's just copy that. If it's an example, we can copy it and paste it.
Okay. Yeah, fine. We are clear up to this point?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
I'm
So
clear when
here,
you're writing.
main
Always
function.
clear when you're writing, but okay.
Right, so here I'm declaring it as globally.
Yeah.
Because we are calling within a function outside
Yeah.
globally. Right, so here we have main function. So what we can write is struct book v1 is equals to, again I will just copy the same thing, currency and chemistry, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Fine. So
Yeah.
now we have initialized the structure variable. Now I am just calling a function, manually defined function. I'll just define it later. Display and v1. Correct?
So one second.
So here
Display is just like printf. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm just defining this function here. It's a manually defined function.
Oh, okay. Display. Oh, okay. Display.
Yeah.
Manual defined function.
Defined function.
Okay, display. Okay. Column by reference. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving the reference. So here what I need to use? I need to use a pointer. Pointer of data type struct book. Correct? And PTR. Correct or not?
No, I'm not following now, but okay. So display is a function, and struct book pointer is what you're passing within that function basically.
Correct. Right. Let's say v1 is of variable integer. Integer v1, and I'm initializing of the alpha value 10. Fine, and then passing this 10 value. So similarly, instead of struct book, I'm using integer. Now it's clear.
Yeah.
Now it's clear. This is the same thing. So
Yeah.
we are just replacing integer with this thing. Correct?
No. Struct book is a data type, and
yes. So just like integer data type.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
So I'm using with struct book. This is the same thing again. What you want to display, printf statement. I'm using inside this one, and I'm just simply putting /n, then percentage s, then percentage d, then again the same thing, whatever we want to print. What was that? It's nothing but a pointer now. So PTR,
pointer, arrow, name, author, call.
PTR, author, then final nothing but PTR, call, number.
One second. If you go up, right? I'm just trying to think. Struct book B1 was a further up. No, previous example. I'm just trying to compare. In the previous example.
Okay, previous example you are saying.
Yeah.
Same, right?
Here also struct book pointer was there defined. Okay.
The structure I am using directly here pointer, and another example I am just passing it. Now you got the point?
Yeah, I got the point.
Any confusion you have?
No, I don't have any fusion now, but I will once you give me assignment to do.
Yeah. So I will just save it. The structures are completed. Every point we have covered. Structure variable, structure pointers, structure arrays, looping, initialization, copying using operators. Everything we have covered.
Okay, if you say so.
No, we have covered everything. I can assure you.
Okay. Okay.
So when
So what
I'm
is
going to classes, right? So I will tell you another example. I mean, different classes and structures. At this particular point, you should be okay with the structure, right? There's nothing but
you?
our basic structures.
Yeah, but do you want to give me assignment and then do classes in the next class, or
We will start with classes in next classes, right? So we'll start with C++,
so we're not doing classes in C?
correct? Classes in C? Oh no, C is completed almost. Basic things are completed. So whatever is remaining, I think nothing is remaining that much. So C++ we will again cover all these things. So more examples, more practice we will do in that C++.
So C
Right?
is complete today, basically you're saying.
Almost completed, almost.
So what is almost like what is remaining?
Almost means basics of C, right? Basics of C, what are the exact basics of C, that is almost completed, right? Because let's say some examples or some typical examples you will cover in C++. So you should be comfortable in C before going to C++. I think you are comfortable with it. So we can start with C++ tomorrow. So what we will do is we will start with classes. Then again I will compare with structures. So a little bit more concept of structures you will understand.
So no,
Right?
no, one second,
So
one second,
when we
one
are going
second.
to class.
Yeah. So Friday
Yeah.
when we do class, we are starting with C++. You are saying, right?
Yes, correct.
So then that means C is complete, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not almost complete; it's complete. Okay. I just want to be make sure. Just want to make sure that we are doing C++ next time and not C. Okay. Perfect. So now you're going to give me
C++ is
assignment with
nothing but advanced part of C. That is what I
C.
am trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah. Got it. So
Right?
now you're
So
going to
never
give.
say C is completed at that particular time. Because C again you will cover in C++. So
Okay, I understand.
that's
So
why I use
now,
the term almost.
yeah, okay. So now, when you give me assignments
Hmm.
today for C
Structures.
structures,
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
assignment will be for structures.
The
Okay.
structures is a part of C, right? But when we are going to C++, right? So when we are defining a classes, so at that particular time, I will give you advanced structure options. There is nothing but unions, structures, and classes. I will compare.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So are you clear about this? If you are clear about this, then we are good to go with C classes,
Sure. Sure. Yeah,
right? So
I'm
what we
clear.
can do is in today's assignment, see, I just declared 3 variables, right? So instead of 3, use 5 or 6 variables, right? So make the changes in this thing. This is your assignment, first assignment, correct? Don't just copy paste this thing in compiler. What you can do is just change the number of variables. Instead of name, prices or something, you can use different terms, right?
Okay.
You can simply write employee name, employee ID, and employee salary, right? These 3 terms you can use,
I
right?
mean, whatever you give me assignment, I'll use based on that requirement, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So it's very simple structure, right? And we are defining in C.
It's very simple when you explain it. I know the simplicity when I have to do the assignment, but I
No,
guess
if you are clear with your concept, then definitely you will do it, right?
okay. Okay. So let's see. I mean, send me the assignments, and I'll
Yeah.
try to do as
Okay.
as best as I can. And then if I get stuck, we'll discuss it on Friday first, the issues, and then we'll move
Yeah,
on.
not an issue, not an issue. Yeah.
Okay.
So fine, I'm
Okay.
just sending you these things.
Yeah. Belated happy birthday,
So any
Chetan.
confusion in, yeah. No, I don't have birthday. Oh, it's actually on 20th of September, not 20th of August.
Okay. Yesterday,
I think by
yesterday when
mistake, yeah, by
it
mistake,
should. Yeah.
20th August was entered on Skype as a meeting. So I think
Yeah.
mine also pinged me yesterday, then I told them.
Okay. Okay. I
Just
thought.
wish me on 20th of September.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought you did not take a class yesterday because it was your birthday. That's why you didn't take a class.
No, actually there was no electricity, so I was just waiting for Mayank's call. So he
Okay.
didn't
Okay.
call me that time.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you would not have done anything if there was no electricity, even if Mayank would have called you. Right?
Yeah.
You are in, you live in,
Actually, I don't.
yeah, no, sorry.
You live in
I was just asking, where do you live? You live in Noida, right?
Gurgaon, Gurgaon.
Gurgaon, okay.
But currently, I am working from home just for 1 month. I think within 5 to 7 days, I need to go back to Gurgaon. You guys are calling me now.
Hmm. Which your Deloitte guys are calling you.
Yeah, my manager is calling me.
Okay. My cousin also works in
Come
Deloitte.
back to Gurgaon.
I just recently came to know.
Where is Gurgaon branch?
Yeah, she works in Gurgaon branch only. I mean, she works in Delhi. I don't know how many branches are there in
No,
Delhi.
it's only single branch.
Yeah, so she works in Gurgaon branch only then, in that case. I can't hear you.
Single branch in Gurgaon. Also working in SAP. I'm saying she's working in SAP.
No, she works in management consulting.
Management consulting. That means related to consulting, management consulting, tax or our consulting department. I'm not sure because there are three departments, right?
Basically,
Tax,
what they do is
then we have audit
they
department,
do, okay, okay,
tax, audit, and consulting. I'm in consulting. So tax
yeah,
department normally MBA guys will do.
mm-hmm.
Simple MBA guys. Then audit we
Right,
are going for CA and highly qualified MBA guys. That means from top colleges. So they were taking in audits. And
okay,
consulting we are taking again from AEEE colleges, AEEE and IIT colleges. Three things are divided.
okay. So she is probably in consulting because she comes here and they come here on projects, and their projects are like, I don't know, some are. I don't even know what kind of projects do they do. They have clients, tomato ketchup clients, and Walmart and whatnot. Yeah, I mean
No,
the.
these are not.
Hmm?
See, clients are simple and any company can be a client because they are giving us assignment or they are giving us projects. So client can be any
Correct.
company, right? It can be a restaurant, it can be anything.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. So she has done engineering?
She has done her engineering, then she has done her, I think she has done her master's, probably MBA or not, I don't know, but she has done her master's.
Okay. Maybe she in
Yeah.
consulting or she is in audit, not very sure.
No, not an audit for sure. Audit is
Audit,
related
that
to
means
tax
she is
only,
doing,
right?
yeah, tax and audit. Correct.
Yeah, so
So
no,
CA
she's not.
guys and I think MBA finance guys they will take mostly from good colleges.
Yeah,
That's
she's not
okay.
in audit. She's in consulting only. Yeah.
Because I don't know that many guys because I joined 8 months before in Deloitte Gurgaon. Initially I was in Wipro Technologies,
Okay.
Hyderabad.
Oh, okay.
So last 8 months I'm in Deloitte.
Last 8 months you're in
Now I'm
Deloitte.
planning to switch again.
Why?
I'm planning to change my company again. I don't like the work culture of Deloitte.
Okay. They make you work too much or
That's the main thing. Workload is too much and second thing learning opportunities are not good. That is the first second thing.
okay. We have seen one
I'm just
same
looking for
thing.
KPMG or IBM.
Oh, KPMG and IBM, okay. So our center of excellence used to be in India. Now we are actually shifting it to Poland, and it's for the same
Okay.
reason. Our like I'm a very junior guy, but our directors and managing directors they're saying that the problem is that people keep switching from one company to another. So they tend to come on board, learn our systems, learn the methodology that we do, and then they tend to switch to a different company. So it's basically you hire somebody, you train somebody, and then within a year he's gone. So now you hire somebody again and spend time and effort in training him, and then he's again gone. That's why now they're moving. So they're saying that the people's what do you call dedication to one company is very limited in in India.
Yeah. So see, when you are coming to India, competition is too much. When you're going to any company.
Yeah, and I think it's easier to get a raise by switching than to just stay in one
Yes,
company.
correct.
That is also there.
That is the main thing because if you are staying in a single company, they will not give you that much hike.
Correct. Yeah.
There are a lot of things, right? Because in Wipro, I think for last 2 years I worked that much. What should I tell you? Again, there's an issue, a couple of things, promotion and everything. So I just changed my company in that case.
But KPMG and IBM are hiring, or they're always hiring? I
It's
mean,
all about, you mean Deloitte guys or all over companies?
no, KPMG and IBM. You wanted to switch there, right?
Yeah, they are hiring actually. So I just applied for KPMG. My 2 rounds are clear, but I'm just waiting for the third round. So they want me to come to Gurgaon for face-to-face round with manager.
Okay.
Let's see how this thing will go. But yesterday I got the report Deloitte and KPMG both working conditions are same.
So, but
So I'm not that much optimistic about KPMG now.
I think IBM would be a better company, but you never know. It totally depends on your team. It totally depends on your team and your manager. I have always felt the same thing. Every company is good and every company is
Because
bad.
when I joined Deloitte, right, so I think I joined on 18th of November. So on the 19th of November, they gave me one assignment directly without any welcome or whatever rounds we have, right? Welcome to Deloitte session or whatever we have. It was initially actually 2 days planned, so they canceled our session. We started working. First day, you have to, within 2 days, I have to deliver the technical specs, and I think within 5 days, I need to complete the code without access of SAP. So what they told me that we have an sandbox right in Deloitte server. So you complete your coding in that part, then we will do it later. So there's a lot of issues, right? We don't have test data. We don't have functional guys who will create the test data in that one. I just completed somehow. That is fine.
But I think, it's just a chance of what team you go into, Chetan. I think every company is same.
No, it's the same. It's the same condition in Deloitte. See, there's no bench concept in Deloitte. That's the main thing. If you are bench, then they will kill you. That's the main thing. So from first day, when we are assigning any project, right? So from first day, you need to deliver. That is not happen with all the companies, right? Because when Wipro, I was in charge of offshore, right? So whatever person is coming, either senior or junior, they are reporting to me directly in developer team. So KT and everything I will provide to them. I think 5 to 6 I provided KT and mentor also. So at least for 1 week we are not assigning any task to them, right? Even if the person is a senior guy.
Yeah, but there's a difference, right?
Wipro, system, right? How the things are going on.
But Chetan, Wipro and
every
Infosys and
company
Cognizant will not pay as much as Deloitte, KPMG in these companies would pay. Right?
Yeah, I can understand this thing, but still, at least you need to give around 1 week to understand this concept. First day you are joining any new company, I change my location also, then you are assigning a new thing. And in evening time, you need to search a particular accommodation, right? That's not good thing. That was okay, I started, but after completing my first project, they assigned me another project. On the very first day, they gave me 2 days of limit that I need to complete on technical specs. Immediately I think I don't know on this project.
God. So what if you are on bench? What do they do? I mean,
currently I'm on bench only from last 1 month. That's okay, I'm just doing some, yeah. So they want some other work, that is completed work you need to complete.
Okay. But it is good, right? They allow you to work from home. And companies like Infosys and Wipro, they don't allow you to work from home that much.
No, Wipro also allow that much. No, I think 15 days or 1 month you can work from home. They will allow. Depends on manager. Yeah, depends on manager.
Okay. My wife, she works for Infosys. So in Infosys, they don't allow you to work from home for over, I think, a week in a year when you are on a project. I think they have some rule like this. I'm sure they probably do exceptions, but that's what they do.
Maybe, I'm very sure. Fine, depends on company, right?
Right.
So we will wind up here.
Okay.
Fine. Okay.
All right. So we'll
tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Friday, right? We'll meet on Friday now.
Okay. Fine. Right? Not an issue.
Okay.
Chalo,
okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye. Yeah. Good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye.